Conan Doyle.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, born in Scotland, is best known as the creator of Sherlock Holmes. After first working as a doctor, he started writing detective stories and became one of the world's best-known authors.
Quick facts.
Name,
Arthur Conan Doyle.
occupation,
Doctor, author, journalist.
birth date,
The 22nd of May, 1859.
death date,
The 7th of July, 1930.
education,
University of Edinburgh, Skellyhurst College.
place of birth,
Edinburgh, Scotland.
place of death,
Crowborough, United Kingdom. At med school, John met his mentor, Professor Dr. Joseph Barrett, whose keen powers of observation would later inspire Doyle to create his detective character, Sherlock Holmes.
It is the end of 19th century, and Sherlock Holmes, the world-famous detective, lives at 221B Baker Street in London. The great capital is a rainy, foggy city, and the police have difficulties in catching criminals. Luckily, Holmes is there to help them, but only if a case is interesting enough.
as a gentleman, Holmes often carries a stick.
The detective has an above average physical strength. Holmes is an adept bare-knuckle fighter.
Sherlock is also multilingual. He knows how to speak multiple different languages. Sherlock also has an acute sense of smell.
Holmes is extremely intelligent, and intelligent people are often impatient with their friends. Think Watson. He says sharply to the good doctor, who is not as clever or as quick as he is. But he sometimes needs Dr. Watson's help and is grateful for it, especially in a dangerous situation.
Watson started out as a surgeon.
Watson is presented as Holmes' biographer.
Sherlock Holmes is the greatest detective the world has ever seen, and he knows it. The famous bank robber, John Clay, says to him, "You think of everything, Mr. Holmes. You are very clever. People come to him with the problems that no one, not the police, can solve." Holmes sits and thinks and smokes his pipe, and in the end he finds the answer.
Spaulding helps him in the shop. He found an advertisement in the newspaper. He thinks the advertisement is just for Mr. Wilson, because he had a red hair.
Wilson and Spaulding visit Rose's office. Mr. Duncan Rose wants a recommended man to do easy work, to copy from the larger book for a good wages, £4 a week.
Wilson decided to do this work. Every day he leaves his shop for Spaulding and comes to the office. He works for 2 months. One day he comes to the office and finds the door was locked. He comes to Sherlock Holmes for help. Holmes finds the case interesting and wants to help him.
Holmes comes to the Wilson shop and examines the ground near it. Then he meets Mr. Spaulding, and then he sees his dirty trousers. He understands everything, and he asks Dr. Watson to help him in the evening.
Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, Mr. Merriweather and Mr. Jones meet at Sherlock Holmes' room. They're talking about John Clay. They want to catch him. He's a killer and the thief. Then everybody leaves the room. Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, Mr. Merriweather and Mr. Jones are inside the bank's strong room. They inspect the place. Then Mr. Merriweather and Mr. Jones hide behind the boxes. They want to catch John Clay. Suddenly, John Clay and Duncan Ross climb out of the tunnel. Holmes catches the thief, but Ross runs away. John Clay says that Holmes is very clever. Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson are in Sherlock Holmes' room. They're talking about red-headed leak case. They recollect the duty John Clay's trousers and tunnel. They recollect that Mr. Spaulding was happy to work for high wages. Watson says that Holmes is very clever.
This is interesting. What is? This advertisement. This is interesting for you, Mr. Wilson, because you have very red hair. Go on. The red-headed thief want to find someone new. Do you know about them? Listen. To all red-headed men, 21 years old or more, The red-headed pig can now take one new man. We pay £4 a week to do easy work. Come to the offices at 7, Fleet Street, Pope Scott, London on Monday at 11 o'clock. You can get £400 a year.
Really? Tell me about it.
A rich American man with red hair began the deed. When he died, he gave a lot of his money to the red-headed pig to give easy work to men with red hair. This is a very good wages for only a little work. Why don't you go along to Pope Scott?
But millions of red-headed men will go and...
Not millions. You need to live in London.
Oh, I don't know.
You must have very red hair. You have very red hair, Mr. Wilson.
Monday, 11 o'clock.
It's Monday today, and it's nearly 11 o'clock. Come on. But must be careful. Of course, it's your hair. I can sleep now. Please, sit down. My name is Duncan Ross. Have you got a wife, Mr. Wilson? And children?
No, I have no wife and no family.
Oh, my dear. Some of the men in our league have a lot of red-haired children. We like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
It's all right. You have a wonderful head of hair. When can I begin work here?
It's not easy. I have a shop and...
I can stay in the shop, Mr. Wilson.
what hours must I work?
10 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
And the wages?
£4 a week.
And the work?
You must sit here in the office all the time. It's very important. You mustn't go out between the hours of 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
And what must I do?
You must copy from this large book. And you must bring paper and a pen. Can we begin tomorrow?
Yes, I can.
Then goodbye, Mr. James Wilson.
I was thinking, it's most interesting, Mr. Wilson. Sit down, please.
Holmes, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Come on, my dear Watson. This is Mr. James Wilson. He's telling me a very strange story. This is Dr. Watson. He's a good friend. Give him the advertisement to read. He does a lot of writing, do you see?
How did you know that, Mr. Holmes?
The right arm of your coat is different from the left. Your arm is on the table when you write.
Yes, that's right.
It's very strange, Holmes.
It is strange, isn't it? Do you see the date and the month of newspaper?
It's the Morning Chronicle of 27th April, 1890, 2 months ago.
Now, Mr. Wilson, please tell us about your shop.
It's at 6 Cabot Square. It's a little shop and it doesn't make much money.
Does somebody help you in the shop?
Yes, a young man. Well, he's not very young, but he works for half wages.
Does he? What's his name?
Vincent Spaulding. He likes to take photos in my dark cellar when he's not working, but he works very well when he's in the shop.
How did you first see the advertisement? Tell us that.
Spaulding saw it 8 weeks ago, and we went to Pope Scott and saw Mr. Duncan Ross. I told you about the visit a few minutes ago.
Yes, and I can tell Watson about it later. Please continue.
Well, Mr. Holmes, I was very pleased. But that evening, I started to think again. Copying from a book is a very strange work for a man to do, I thought.
Very strange, yes.
But the next morning, I went to Pope Scott with my pen and some paper, and Mr. Duncan Ross was there, but soon he went away, and I began my work.
Well,
I went in every morning at 10 o'clock, and went home at 2 o'clock. And Mr. Duncan Ross was there on Saturday, and paid me my £4.
how long did you work there?
8 weeks. But today, I went to Pope Scott again, and the door was locked. This was on the door.
League is finished. June 23rd, 1890. What did you do then?
Then I went to the office in the next building and I asked the man, what happened to the Red-Headed League? Who are they? He asked. Who is the man at number 7? I asked. The man with the red hair, he said. His name is William Morris. He moved out yesterday. He has got new offices at 17 King Edward Street. Well, then I went to King Edward Street, Mr. Holmes.
You did not find Mr. William Morris or Mr. Duncan Ross. Am I right?
You are.
What did you do then?
I went home to the St. Cabot Square.
What does Spaulding say about all this?
He said, wait for a letter. You're going to hear something.
What do you think?
I need your help, I think.
You're right. I'm happy to help you. But first I want to ask you one or two questions. Spaulding was the first who sees the advertisement? Yes.
Yes.
How did he come?
He answered an advertisement in the newspaper.
Was he the only man who answered it?
No, 12 people answered it.
Why did you take him?
Because he was cheap.
He's happy to work for half of usual wages.
Yes.
Tell me about him, this Vincent Spaulding.
Well, he's a good, quick worker, and he's about 30 years old, I think.
Where is he now?
He is in the shop.
That is all, Mr. Wilson. Today is Saturday. I'm going to have an answer for you before Monday.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Put on your head. We are going to St. Cabot Square.
Can I help you?
Yes, how can I get to the Strand?
Third on the right and fourth on the left.
Thanks. He's a clever young man, Watson. He is. Why did you ask about the Strand? You know London very well. We wanted to see him. Not him. His trousers. His trousers? I don't understand. And why did he hit the ground with your stick? My dear doctor, this is not the time for talking. I must go and look the roads behind St. Cabot Square. Are you going to your work?
Yes, I must go to the hospital.
I have things to do too. But I want your help tonight. Come at 10 o'clock. And Watson. Yes, Holmes. Bring your gun.
Wanted! Wanted! John Clay is wanted! Wanted! John Clay is wanted! 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 John Clay is wanted!
He's the killer and the thief.
Hello, Mr. Holmes. Hello. Watson, you know Mr. Jones of Scotland Yard?
Hello, doctor.
Hello. And this is Mr. Merriweather.
How do you do, doctor? Nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you. They are coming with us tonight.
We meet again. I'm here because I want to catch John Clay. He's a killer and a thief, one of the worst men in London.
It isn't going to be easy to catch him because he's very clever.
It's after 10 o'clock. We must go.
And strong room.
they can hear us.
How long before?
An hour. They are going to wait for Mr. Wilson to go to bed. We are in the strong room of the first bank. Did you know that?
Mr. Merriweather works for the bank.
Mr. Merriweather, what do things want?
Our gold, it's in all this box. Lots and lots of it.
Gold? Get behind the boxes, everyone. When I hear or see anything strange, I'm going to come out with a light. Then you must help me.
I'm ready with my gun, Holmes.
Is everything ready upstairs, Mr. Johnson?
My men are waiting at the front door of the bank. They can't get out there.
Good. Now we must be quiet and wait.
It's a 11:15. Holmes, when?
Now, have you got... What?
Stop!
Stop!
Move!
Don't
Stop!
move!
You can't get away from me.
No, but my friend...
There are 3 men waiting for him at the front door of the bank.
You think of everything, Mr. Holmes. You're very clever.
Your red-headed leaf was clever too, but I'm pleased to catch the famous John Clay.
Sherlock Holmes's room. Sherlock Holmes' thoughts about the tunnel.
They needed the red-headed leaf to get Mr. Wilson out of his shop. Do you understand that?
Yes, I think, yes.
They wanted the red-headed leaf to get Mr. Wilson out of his shop for some hours every day. But how could they do it? Then Clay saw the color of Rose's head and thought about the red-headed leaf. When he answered this newspaper advertisement and went to work for their office. And then they had time to make a tunnel. Very clever.
So Spaulding is a John Clay, the famous thief. When did you first know that?
Spaulding was happy to work for half wages. Why, I thought, is that man making a tunnel? I thought. They're not a building. Spaulding. But Mr. Watson, you saw me hitting the ground with my stick.
Yes, now I understand. Was the cellar in front of the shop? You wanted to know that.
Yes, I did, and it wasn't. The cellar was behind the shop. Then I saw the man Spaulding. Did you see his trousers?
Yes, I saw them.
They were dirty, Watson. Why? Because making a tunnel is dirty work.
Very clever, Holmes.
Then I went down into the back of the band. And what did I see? The first band.
The bank, yes, of course.
Why is that young man making a tunnel, I thought, to get into the bank's strong room?
But why tonight? How did you know that? Tea, Sam?
Yes, please. Because they closed the office of the red-headed league. And Saturday is a good day. And bank does not open on Sunday. 2 days for thieves to get away.
But they didn't get away, Holmes. You're very clever.
That's very true, Watson.
Your tea, Sam.
Wilson Spaulding, Duncan Ross, Peter Jones, Mr. Merriweather, Mrs. Hudson, a mailman,